What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff Grammer with the ABQJournal, and I am adjusting this here now to get properly onto your screen. I am in CLUNE Arena at the Cadet Field House on the campus of the U.S. Air Force Academy. Getting to you a little late today. It's 41 minutes before tip-off between the UNM Lobos, 12-3, and the Air Force Falcons. Air Force is 3-14 right now. They are 0-4 in Mountain West play. This game is UNM favored by 17.5 or 18.5, depending on where you get your lines. Let me get my extra camera up here, the good stuff, although it's just really showing guys warm up right now, which you may or may not want to see, but let's see here. Swap those. There we go. Now we're ready to go. 40 minutes before tip-off in CLUNE Arena on the U.S. Air Force Academy campus, the Cadet Field House, where there is, as always, a basketball arena, a indoor track and field facility, a indoor ice hockey rink, all in the same Cadet Field House building. And we are smelling the cooking popcorn from the concourse up above. Some snow on the ground outside here. So technically, this isn't Colorado Springs. This is U.S. Air Force Academy, Colorado. It is its own spot on the map, its own zip code, its own little city. But it is outside Colorado Springs, and that's where we are, where they did get 9 inches of snow on Friday, and shouldn't affect the game today. They didn't get any here inside the arena. So there you go. The Lobos have been out all week. They won Tuesday night at Colorado State in Fort Collins against the CSU Rams. And that was a big road win. Not only did they cover the spread, but pardon me, they comfortably covered that spread all night, although it was just a 10-point outcome, and it did get down at 1 point to 6 points, I think it was, there in the second half. It was comfortable. They never allowed the Rams to have even more than a 5-point scoring run, which is almost unheard of. You miss a couple shots, they hit a couple free throws. You maybe miss on the other end. They get just one defensive stop. Next thing you know, it's a quick 6-0, 7-0 run. For UNM not to have given up even one 6-0 run in that game is pretty remarkable, really. But that said, they didn't exactly go on a whole lot of long runs themselves. So it was a lot of trading back and forth, baskets back and forth. The defense wasn't the best defensive game overall, but it was a good defensive game plan for a UNM Lobo team that does – in fact, invite teams to shoot threes. They protect the rim. They protect the paint. Let me see if I can get this over the TV mic a little bit here. Let me adjust. Grammar vision time. Adjusting the little webcam there. So there you go. There's your grammar vision. Sean Ryder would be proud right now. But the Lobo defensive scheme in general this season protects the paint, protects the rim, does not want you shooting close to the basket, and they do everything to emphasize preventing shot attempts near the basket. Well, against the Colorado State team, that was one of the best shooting teams in the country, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, had 2 players coming into the game who had both already hit 42 three-pointers, so 84 combined three-pointers of their starting 2 guards, and the Lobos had to switch things up. So they played really heavy, really tight on the perimeter. That allowed and opened up the door, if you will, for some backdoor cuts, some back cuts, some Princeton offense style stuff that they did give up a few of those. Not many, but a few. But if the trade-off was to give up a few of those rather than giving up the perimeter space against one of the best three-point shootings, the best three-point shooting team in the Mountain West, that was a trade-off they were willing to take, and they won by 10 on the road in a Mountain West game as a result. So good for the Lobos in that win. The one, I guess, carryover to this game, well, a couple carryovers. One is they stayed out in Colorado. There's no classes at UNM. So the Lobos did stay out, went to Denver for a couple days, worked out here in Colorado Springs, actually here at CLUNE Arena a little bit last night, and we are here today. But so that's, I guess, one carryover. But the other carryover is obviously that Princeton backdoor offense, and those schemes are what Air Force is all about, right? A lot of similarities with Dave Pilipovich kind of helping out with that CSU team right now, but also we're talking about an Air Force team that for years has been about backdoor cuts and Princeton offense and Princeton schemes. So the Lobos could see more of that today, but because they're not so focused and concerned, frankly, about that three-point perimeter shooting that the Rams had, well, then they're going to kind of revert back to what they normally do, which is protect the rim, and you shouldn't see too many backdoor cuts. Now, when you play Air Force, you're going to give up a couple. You just always are. That is what they do. And a lot of respect, though, for this Air Force team from Eric Olin. When I spoke with him yesterday, he knows what the record is, and he doesn't lie to the team. He's not trying to tell them they're the best team in the league or anything like that. But he tells them you better be prepared because Air Force picks somebody off here every year. And it's also a general mindset that Eric Olin and the Lobos take. It doesn't matter who they play. The second you try and play up for a big game is the second you admit that not all games should be I missed the ball. I missed it. But the second you start saying this game's more important and you play up for it, then you start admitting that games like this you play down for. And you can't do that. So you prepare for every game, no matter what the opponent is, the exact same. And if you do that, that's the mindset he wants to build. It's the mindset most coaches try and go with. But that's why coaches don't usually talk up big games, just like they don't try and talk down lower considered opponents. A bit of a cough. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so here we go. Mark is in. No word still on Kevin Patton. No, other than it's a personal matter. At this point, UNM cannot. I'm under the understanding that now. First of all, I don't know what it is. I will say that his brother's here. He just walked by the screen. If you guys saw that, so Kalai Patton, his brother's still with the team. And UNM cannot say, I don't think, anything more than they have said. I know a lot of people want them to say more. I don't know that they can at this point say more because it is a personal matter. It's not just an injury that a team can talk about or something like that. This is a matter where I think they would be potentially violating some student privacy issues if they talked about it. I say all that to emphasize, as again, grammar vision, you guys can see some Air Force warming up now. I don't know what's going on other than I've been told and assured it is a personal matter, and that's where we are. So there's the update on Kevin Patton. He is not playing today. He's not here with the team today. Chris Howell is also out. Starter has been out for a while. He has an oblique injury. I don't know what the update is on that. He's here, and he was warming up some of the players. So he's not entirely hurt to the point where he can't move and do some minimal stuff, but he is still out with an oblique injury. All right, Desert Lobo 72 is in on YouTube saying, regarding our net ranking, is UNM's best win actually their loss to Nebraska? No, their best win is definitely the VCU road win. The true road wins in the net rankings are absolutely that's absolutely the best metric boost for the Lobos in terms of the net ranking right now. The quad one loss that was Nebraska didn't hurt them, especially as a loss, but and neither did the true road loss at Boise State, although I don't know what's going on with Boise State. Who knows, man? Maybe that ends up being a worse loss than it should have been. But no, in terms of the metrics, the true road win at VCU is absolutely the best, and will be, I think, probably till the end of the season, unless the Lobos pick off somebody like a Utah State on the road this season, because as of right now, picking off even a San Diego State or a Boise State on the road, they can't do Boise State. They already played them on the road. But even those aren't teams that are ranked as high as VCU is in the net. So the only win on the board right now that could be better than the VCU win is a win at Utah State. And I'll tell you what, though, Utah State's climbing so high in the metrics and in the net rankings that even a home win isn't going to be a bad. Any win's not going to be bad, but it actually could be a pretty good little boost to the metrics, even winning in the pit. So Timothy Fuller is in on YouTube. Where are you, Sean? Where are you and Sean doing weekly? When we can. This last one, he was at the office. I was in a hotel room in Fort Collins, Colorado. This next week, maybe we'll both be in the office. I know there's a game on Tuesday, and there's something I got to do on Tuesday afternoon. I have to record something with somebody with the Isotopes, I believe. So I don't know that I'll be in the office. I may be at home, but yeah, there's no studio for the weekly show. So the where, I don't know, but the when should be Tuesday. That's all I can say. Should be. The last one was Tuesday. Richie's in, my boy. What's up, Richie? That's a nice little Saturday afternoon game for you, Richie. Hopefully you aren't at work. All right. Does Air Force still run the Princeton office? They do. So, and this comment was up there before I talked about it earlier. But yeah, as I mentioned, there were some backdoor cuts and some Princeton concepts that CSU has. I'm not suggesting CSU and Air Force have the same style of offense, but there are some concepts that are similar with a lot of those backdoors and some of the Princeton back cuts and stuff like that. So Air Force is still very much of that ilk. So yes, they do still run the Princeton offense in general. They have one really good point guard, a true freshman. Cam is I think he's one of the better guards in the league in terms of just getting to the paint, really. And I think that Cam Sanders is really good. Who's the other guy I wanted to mention? Oh, Caleb Walker. Yeah, Caleb Walker's a forward that's shooting 73%, which is crazy. If the Lobos let him get the ball where he wants to get it, Caleb Walker's probably going to make a lot of shots. He had one stretch this year that spanned over 3 games, but he made 16 consecutive shots. He is a very good shooter in the low block, and if he gets it where he wants it, he's probably going to score. So the Lobos' defense on him starts well before he touches the ball, and they try and make sure he gets if he gets his touches, it's not going to be where he wants them. Richie's asking on YouTube, I'm going to be going to my first pit game on Tuesday. There we go. GCU game. And GCU looks pretty damn good, man. They've turned things around a little bit. So could be a really good game Tuesday night in the pit. Grand Canyon, New Mexico, first Mountain West game between the two. Not the first time Grand Canyon's played in the pit, but the first time they've played as a Mountain West school. Is Hal's injury that severe? They posted some practice clips from yesterday, and it didn't look like he was even starting to ramp up yet. I couldn't tell you, man. I just know that he's out. I did see him working out with some players today, minimal stuff, but I have not seen a full practice. If I've been to a practice, I would let you know, but I don't know how severe it is. I just know he's out. And he has told me personally that he he will come back. This isn't going to be like some secret year-long thing, but yeah, I can't tell you the severity of it. Sorry. Timothy Fuller's in on YouTube. Do the players have to go through security checks to get on the U.S. Air Force campus, like background checks, etc.? Yes, so do fans. There is a registration process just to get on, and I had that in the articles, the preview articles. They tweeted it out on social media all week. Any fan who wants to come to this game has to fill out a registration form, an online registration form that verifies real ID, verifies citizenship, all that stuff. A lot of political stuff there that we can get into, but we're not on this show. But yeah, not everybody is entirely thrilled that they have to answer some of the questions they do. But you want to watch a game on the Air Force Academy, you do have to fill out a background check that verifies such things as citizenship and stuff like that. If you are a player and you have your passport and stuff like that, it's all checked, yes. How did GCU abolish Boise? Are they that much better or bad nap for Boise? I wouldn't say Grand Canyon's better than Boise, no. They were that night for sure, obviously. But yeah, Boise was awful. It wasn't a very well coached game. If you heard post game remarks from that game, you'd hear that it was the fans that didn't show up. It was a neutral court game for Grand Canyon, according to Leon Rice. He had 2 point guards out there that were awful, as his words, not mine. I would tell you that if putting 2 point guards in the starting lineup was a big bust and didn't work, well, then the decision to put 2 point guards in your starting lineup, that was the coaching decision, should also be scrutinized pretty heavily in that game. I don't think Boise State was very well prepared for the Grand Canyon game on Tuesday night, and you can blame the fans, and you can blame officials, you can blame the point guard play, all that stuff, but there was plenty of blame to go around, and it includes I did not see Boise State looking very prepared. They seemed I don't know. They weren't very prepared. And that said, just Tuesday night before that, UNM's offense was awful in there. So was Boise State's offense, frankly. So Boise State put out back-to-back home offensive kind of stinkers, if you ask me. But I guess over the course of a week, because they actually had the game in between, right? Anyway, last Tuesday, the Lobos looked awful in Boise offensively, looked pretty good defensively, and Boise looked pretty bad again Wednesday night in their home arena against Grand Canyon. And Grand Canyon took it to them, man. That said, if I'm all things being equal, if all teams are right, and I don't know that Boise State is right, but if all things are being equal, all things equal, and all things are right, Boise State, in my mind, is still a better team than Grand Canyon. But we'll see. Certainly wasn't the case the other night. Desert Lobo is in on YouTube. Steve Alford was begging for a sellout against San Diego State this past week. Did he get it? He did not. Let me see what he ended up getting. All right. Nevada basketball against San Diego State. Well, to the box score, they had 8,005 people. I don't know what the capacity listed right now at Lawler. Capacity is listed as 12,000, and they had 8,005 for the San Diego State game. So, no, not a sellout and not particularly close, but 8,000 for a weeknight game is a good crowd. It's a very good crowd in across college basketball, to be frank. There are, remember, 365 Division I teams, and most of them probably don't get 8,000 fans in a month. There's a lot of these teams that are getting 1,000, 2,000 fans a game, and if they're getting 1,000, maybe 1,500 in some home games, and they play 4 or 5 home games a month, they're probably not getting that in a month. So I would agree. Brian Cantu on YouTube is saying Boise State is a schizophrenic team. I would agree with that, except I will also say that while Leon pointed out that he didn't like their play of their 2-point guards the other night, I would tell you that their flaw all season has been that they don't have good point guard play. Their flaw a lot of times is that they don't have good point guard play. That's why last year I thought they were a really good team and had a chance, because I thought Alvaro Cardenas finally gave them a good point guard. I don't think Boise State's point guard play has been good consistently through the years under Leon Rice. I think part of the issue is he doesn't, frankly, play 2-point guards very often. He doesn't put multiple ball handlers on the floor. He would rather have 3 really big 6'7", 6'8", bulky forward types, right, and maybe a center that's 7 foot. He likes that. That's why they are one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the country in his 20 years there. Not quite 20 years, but in his time there, they have consistently been one of the best defensive rebounding teams. They're tough. They're physical. They like playing big. As a result, they also don't play point guards a whole lot and don't emphasize point guard play, and it's shown, frankly, through the years. Is Leon's seat heating up? I don't think so. I don't know why it would, but they're going into a new conference. Some fans obviously are kind of done with the accountability part of all of it, but I don't think Leon's seat is getting too hot at Boise. I don't know why it would. I know some fans are upset, but the guy is still winning a lot of games every year. That's hard to fire. So we'll see. All right, what else we got here, guys? Some questions? Nope. All right, so we are now. We at 28 minutes. From tip-off in CLUNE Arena, fans are starting to file in. So far, about as many Lobo fans as Falcon fans, as much red as blue. Should be a good, I imagine, a 50-50 for this kind of game. Air Force is struggling this year. They got almost 47% of their scoring comes from freshmen. While the Lobos have 3 freshmen they're the only team in the country have 3 freshmen averaging double figures. One's a unique one in that he's a 23-year-old freshman. Jake's starting. Uriah's playing a big role. Air Force has 47% of its scoring coming from freshmen because they have so many freshmen. Their experience is night and day compared to what UNM's is. UNM has 662 college games on its roster. There are 270 of them total for Air Force. And, a lot of those came just this year because you got 5 guys starting every game. Or not 5 guys. You're playing 10 guys a game for, let's see, what's their record now? 14. They played 14 games now. 15, 16, whatever it is. So, anyway, we are 22 minutes away from tip-off. I'm kind of trying to hold on here till the Lobos come back out, and we got a New Mexico flag over there. Do you see it over there? Now we got some Lobos coming out. We got more grammar vision going on, but there we go. There we go. I was trying to hold on a little bit so you guys can see the Lobos warming up a little bit more. No injury news that's unexpected. Chris Howell's still out for the Lobos. Nothing particular for the Air Force Falcons that I think you guys need to know about. But Chris Howell's still out for the Lobos. It's pretty much all you need to know about this one. Kevin Patton is still out, and there are 2 walk-ons listed on the injury report, but they are walk-ons, and that is why they are listed on the injury report. So there you go. 20 minutes away from tip-off, we will have a post-game article, obviously, abqjournal.com. We will have Emptying the Notebook first thing in the morning, tomorrow morning. And there you go. Appreciate it, guys. Let's see if we got any more. How did future Mountain West rival UTEP become so bad at basketball? They haven't invested. They have not been investing in athletics for a while. And they joined the Mountain West with the promise that they're going to invest. I'll need to see it. Like Heather Wilson promised a lot of money. That's why UTEP was invited. Money that New Mexico State didn't have. Frankly, New Mexico State didn't have any leadership at the time either. New Mexico State did not pursue Mountain West membership because they, A, didn't have the money to compete, but B, they also didn't have a president. They didn't have an AD. During a lot of crucial times, there was no leadership, literally no leadership in place at New Mexico State to handle a lot of that. And to be very clear, though, New Mexico State never pursued Mountain West membership because they made the decision they don't have the money to compete. And the Mountain West would not have let them in without a promise of financial contribution. Not to the league, but to its own athletic department to a certain point where you're not going to hurt the rest of the league by not investing. And New Mexico State cannot make that promise. So, alas, we are here with UTEP joining because they made the promise. And we will see if it comes because I'm telling you, man, they do not invest much in that basketball program, and it's showing. All right, guys, appreciate it. Until next time, abqjournal.com is where you can get all our stuff. Follow me on social media. You can get Emptying the Notebook tomorrow morning, and Sean and I will obviously have a show sometime this week. Next game after this one is Tuesday, Grand Canyon in the Pit for the Lobos. Appreciate you guys for coming along for the ride.